Let's go through the 3 basics of outbound lead generation for MSPs making less than $1 million per year. If you want to hunt leads outbound, there are 3 fundamentals that we got to resolve. Who do we talk to? What do we say? And how do we say it? So who do we talk to? That's making our list of our ideal client profile. What do we say? The messaging that we use to get them to raise their hand and engage with us. And how do we say it? What communication vector are we going to use to get in front and talk to them? All right, let's go through this in reverse order. How do we say it? We need a communication vector to contact people. We're either going to call them on the phone or walk into their office or meet them on the golf course, or we're going to send them some direct mail. We got to have something to say, some sort of hook to get them to engage with us. And we need to identify who we're going to talk to. What type of people do we want to talk to? What type of problems do they have? We start with whatever communication vector is the most accessible to us. If you're listening to this video and you're a managed service provider making less than $1 million per year, start simple. How are we going to contact them? In your pocket, you have a method of communication. We have our phone. On your phone are people's phone numbers. Okay, those are leads, and that's a method of contacting them. We can go on Google Maps. We can find their address. We can drive over to their business. That's a way of contacting them. We can meet people on the golf course and shake their hand. That's another way of contacting them. We can send them LinkedIn messages. We can send them direct mail as long as we have their address from Google Maps. Pick something simple and easy for you to do. The reality is the simple stuff is also the hardest. Walking into their office and introducing yourself is the simplest way to talk to somebody, but it's also the hardest because it takes a lot of courage to go up and face rejection. But you'll definitely find that you'll win more if you can handle the shame of rejection, the boredom of repetition, and the pain of feedback. If you can handle those 3 things, you're gonna get a ton of leads. Now that we have a way to get in contact with people, let's pick what we say. And this comes back to our core purpose as a business is to solve people's problems in exchange for money. So if you wanna know what to say, just think about the problems that you like solving for this type of person. If they're a manufacturing company and you know that the other manufacturing clients that you have rely on an ERP system, and that causes your current clients problems, use that messaging when you talk to new manufacturing prospects. And we'll find some question to ask that sort of exacerbates that pain, gets them to think about it, and sparks a conversation. Okay, there is no silver lining snake oil solution for this. We're just going to try different messages and repeat and fail a lot and learn how people react and reject us. And we're going to learn from this repetition to see what messaging works. I don't have the answer. What I do know is that the more reps that you put in, the more rejection you can deal with, the more feedback you absorb, the better you get. Okay, so now we have a way to contact people and something to say. Let's talk about how we make a list of people to contact. Okay, the simplest way to get contact information, honestly, is Google Maps. We're doing business to business sales, so we'll go to Google Maps. Go to Google Maps, search accountants and put in your zip code and write all that information down into a spreadsheet. You need business name, website, office address, phone number. That's it. You don't need people's cell phone numbers. Just go to Google Maps, get the business phone number. You're going to be talking to the receptionist anyways. Okay, the receptionist is not an obstacle. The receptionist is part of this value chain. You got to get the receptionist to engage. If you can't get the receptionist to engage, the business owner won't care either. When I build a lead list, I go to Google Maps, I type in accountant, zip code, and I download all the information to a spreadsheet. That's where we start with. From there, we can collect some recon. We can go to their website. We can learn about the business. We can go to LinkedIn. We can see how many employee range, like we want 11 to 50 employees. That's written on LinkedIn. Okay, we can tag that in our spreadsheet. We can filter down. So we want manufacturing companies in Iowa with 11 to 50 employees. That information is all open access. Google Maps, LinkedIn, website. Keep it simple. Don't look for something more complicated or perfect. We'll go simple first. Now we have a list of people to contact. We got some messaging to say, and we have a way to communicate with them. So what I challenge you to do is make a simple list from Google Maps of the leads that you want to talk to. Pick a problem that you know that this persona has and work that into a cold message and then walk into their business. And then repeat that 100 times. Through that repetition of 100 times, you're going to get rejected a lot, like 98 times. But if you can deal with the shame of rejection and the boredom of repetition and the pain of feedback through that 100-time cycle, you're going to learn the right messaging to say to the right people and the right way to say it, and you're going to make a ton of money.